What's up, YouTube? It's Atlanta Analyst here back with another video. And today I'm going to be talking about the fining of Nate McMillian. Now, when the news came out, I was a little bit confused of why he got fined. So from the looks of it and from me reading a lot over the past few hours, doing a lot of research into it, he was fined because he said that Atlanta needs New York to win. Things aren't going to go in their favor. The odds are against them. And quite frankly, that's the truth. Everyone knows. Everyone's going for the Knicks. I mean, there was 16 people on ESPN. 16 people on ESPN, and 14 of them have the Knicks winning. Almost everyone on TNT has the Knicks winning, except for what? One person. Uh, you look at if you go and you Google Atlanta Hawks versus New York Knicks, the public voted 74% the Knicks and 24% the Hawks. And then, obviously, you're going to Madison Square Garden, okay? Then that's the Knicks' home court, and they're gonna call the calls there. So was McMillian fined $25,000 for telling the truth? That's absurd. And honestly, the NBA should be ashamed of themselves for doing that. Whoever fined him should be ashamed of themselves, because in the NBA, we all know that the NBA has favorites. Okay, NBA likes the Knicks, the Warriors, the Lakers, especially the Brooklyn Nets. Come on, the Bucks, but the Bucks don't get that much favoritism. But McMillian was full within his rights, full within just being logic and saying, "Hey, New York City is is where a lot of the money comes from. They want them to win." It was the truth. No one expected McMillian to come up with the truth. No one expected the Hawks head coach to finally speak the truth about what's actually going on, because we all know that in this particular series, there's going to be a lot of calls that are not going to go in the favor of Atlanta until we get to Atlanta, maybe until the game finally goes to Atlanta. That it would have already been 2 games. Now, 2 videos ago, I made a prediction on what I thought, how I thought that series was going to go. I still think Atlanta's going to win the series 4-1. Especially now, since Atlanta has something to fight for. They have a lot of fight, a lot of grit. They have a lot more purpose now to prove everyone wrong. Okay, I'm still going with Atlanta in 5 games or 6 games, but I think it's going to be 5 games now. But to find a coach of a team that you don't even talk about, to find a coach for telling the truth, they know it's the truth. That's why they find him. If it wasn't the truth, they wouldn't find him. And then to find some by the book, lazy, petty code section that said bias NBA picking, something like that. There was something that was not. I disagree with it. I disagree with the fining. I disagree with all that. McMillian, thank you. You spoke out. No other coach would have probably did that. I think Lloyd Pierce. Let's be honest. We wouldn't be in the playoffs with Lloyd Pierce, but if we were in this situation with Lloyd Pierce, he wouldn't have said anything. So I want to thank McMillian for saying something, because we all know what's going on. We all know what they're gonna try to make happen, and I just hope that Atlanta can prove everyone wrong. The 74% to 26% on the public voting. The 14 people out of 16 people on ESPN who's voting for the Hawks to lose in the first round. Only person that stands up for us is Kendrick Perkins. Kendrick Perkins is the only one who believes that Atlanta has talent. He's the only one that recognizes our talent, with Trae Young and Collins and Capella. Capella is not even in the top 3 for the Defensive Player of the Year. How? And you put a point guard up there who can't even shoot the ball and gets scored on almost all the time. Ben Simmons? Are you serious? And you put 2 Jazz guys up there. You put You put 2 Jazz guys up for the six man of the year, but that's okay. Now, if you look, Rudy Gobert Draymond Green. Draymond Green totally, he deserves it. I mean, you know, I think that Draymond Green does a great job on defense. He did such a great job of guarding Anthony Davis. Now, if you look, Capella should be up there. Capella should be up there. But no one gives the Hawks the recognition that they deserve. No one, gives the Hawks any credit. No one gives us any credit for anything. Heck, we made it to Eastern Conference Finals a few years ago with Bud. No one talked about us. And if it was so brief. We beat the Charlotte Hornets. Okay? We beat them. We beat the Charlotte Hornets. Highly intense game. That was the game, our last game against Charlotte. It was in Charlotte. That was when Miles Bridges got that huge dunk. It was on ESPN the next day. First thing they said is, this is not about the Atlanta Hawks winning. This is about that dunk. And then they go, oh, well, this has got to be the biggest dunk of the year. And the Atlanta Hawks, it's just like, really? It's only 2 points. I'd be saying the same thing if Collins got that dunk and they were talking about it. I want to hear about the win that we never get any recognition for. We beat the Milwaukee Bucks. No one talked about it. Absolutely no one talked about it. I couldn't even... Listen, it was even hard for me to find a reaction to that particular game. We beat the Phoenix Suns. No one talked about it. We beat the Brooklyn Nets, too. Yeah, we beat them by a lot. No one talked about it. We beat the Miami Heat. We won the season series over them, same as Boston. No one talked about it. I mean, hey, we won a lot of games where no one talks about us at all. And it's time that Atlanta stands up and Atlanta proves everyone wrong, because we are strong and we will prove people wrong. And I think that's what's going to take it for people to finally give us some recognition for something. They don't even talk about the excellent job that McMillian did. And if it is, it's for like 25 seconds. And I'm not talking about the Atlanta to Laker talk ratio. Atlanta to Brooklyn talk. I'm not talking about Atlanta to a number 1, number 2 seed ratio. I'm talking about the fact of the matter is that Atlanta gets compared to all these other teams. They talk about the Orlando Magic more. The Detroit Pistons. They talk about Cole Anthony more than they talked about Trae Young his rookie year. They talk about Trae Young zero. They don't talk about him at all. And then you look at John Collins. John Collins has never been talked about on ESPN. Nothing. You look at Clint Capella. Really? No one gives Clint Capella any sort of talking about. But he was in Houston. He was just getting talked about like he was the best. He's better here than he was in Houston. And he doesn't even get talked about here. Why? Because of the hate that the NBA shows to the Atlanta Hawks. The hate that all of the big social media sources show towards the Atlanta Hawks. But once the Atlanta Hawks show up and they win this series against the Knicks, hopefully the NBA will start to see that Atlanta's just not a pushover team. Atlanta's not a team that you can skip a team pass and go ahead and start predicting the second round against. I watched something on ESPN. They were saying that the way the brackets were going to go, Philadelphia was already going to the second round. Atlanta's already getting put out the first round. And that they were already making an easy path for the 76ers to go to the Eastern Conference Finals. Are you serious? You're talking about a team now in Atlanta that is fully healthy, except for Cam Reddish. And Brandon Goodwin. Fully healthy. Other than those 2 players. They're fully healthy. A team that is fully healthy. 76ers are not fully healthy. The New York Knicks are not fully healthy. I'm just really confused and upset that the NBA could fine Nate McMillian for something as stupid and childish and really typical. And the funny thing is, Tom Thibodeau said the exact same words. in a Stephen A interview. I will link that in the description. I will put a timestamp for you to go click on that and see where Tom Thibodeau said almost the exact same words to McMillian said. No one fined him. He didn't get fined. Stephen A applauded it. No one fined him. And then you look, I'm just so upset right now because you can't find someone, one, for something that somebody else said, then they didn't get fined for it. But it's the truth. The NBA knows that they need him. But yeah, guys, that's all. I mean, y'all take care. Let me know what y'all think of this video, and y'all have a good one.